And if you need some of that basketball excitement, you can get it when you need it. But let's not all forget that Fire Pro Wrestling World was originally my stream of choice, and they've slow played the hell out of the promotion mode, and so I'm not playing that. But as soon as that is out, I may be doing some of that. Maybe doing a little more wrestling than basketball. But either way, if this keeps happening, in this basketball thing, I still need to spend the time with the editor and get some of these images and things. And maybe somebody in the community has brought a version of the roster along for the 2018-2019 season. But we're starting to get into this bizarro-verse where the rosters do not reflect reality, and some of the things that are happening alter, like guys are signing in different places and things start to alter the realistic depiction, which is fine. And that's all kind of the reason we want to do this. But at the same time, the option and offer is still there to do a let's play me versus chat kind of thing, where we could maybe possibly each have a team. I'm not sure if that's just too much. I would prefer to either just give control of this team to you, or we start another save where we can all vote, pick where we start, what team, what league. But I do enjoy the fact that most of these people are real, and I don't know if this game eventually starts generating and kind of filling the gap. I couldn't tell you if the people on my academy, most of the people on my academy team are real. They have pictures. Kind of interesting. Some young men have had their identity violated. I'm sure they never got any money for this. They charge $10 for the game, and like 10 people buy it. I guess there's not a lot to spread around. But unfortunate. I mean, this is not a bad game. There's things to add and pieces to improve on. The coaching in game is basically unusable as it is now. But as a simulator, and then like a team manager, training manager, it's not bad. I enjoy it. I do wish that there was a little bit more control at the franchise owner level. In the game, it's just a person's name. Just says who's the team owner. As you see here, Worker Silky, which is not accurate anymore. I don't know if it ever was to be true, but I know it's not now. That said, yeah, I'm just not sure what else I was going to say. I mean, you have the team, and there's a stadium, as you can see, the capacity. Those details are there. Should I be able to make strategic investments to increase the capacity of the stadium, or sell naming rights, possibly get sponsorships, just kind of make the game a little bit deeper? Those are the kind of things that, do they really matter? I don't know, but the game as it stands now is just kind of bare bones with the coaching, and then I basically just control what people train on. which we'll see if ever pans out. I'm afraid that this team's going to turn over next year, and I'm just going to have academy players starting and take major step backwards and let KR just dominate another year. Yeah, this doesn't seem like the thing that we're striving for. But we do have 7 days or so. No one's in real bad condition. Hermanson's working on marking. We should try to get Haldor Hermanson some other improvement. So let's look at what his general training activities are. Just aerobics, maybe? Something simple. Offensive tactics. Defensive tactics. And then there's defending. I'm not sure what the difference between the two are exactly. I'm going to put it on defending. Sounds good. There's only 2 other guys that I'm really concerned about. Gusson and Cook. I'm going to take Gusson. His stealing skills are fairly good already. His free throws could use some work, so let's do that. And then on the other end, speed, quickness, stamina aren't too bad, but power and jumping aren't great. Drive and inside aren't 100% great. So let's put him on defensive tactics. I think I'm good with that. Fair enough. Let's see what February 24th has. Like another lonely night, and streaming all alone again. You know what we do when that happens? Outside of crying and jerking off with my fist, I drink some beer. And so I gotta go over there. It seems so far away because the mic won't go all the way over there, and I gotta stand up, and then I gotta like take about 20 steps. I'm gonna just jump over this long bar. Just jump over the bar right into the kitchen. Just like Dukes of Hazzard style from my living room right into my kitchen. I don't know why I haven't thought of this before. Stay tuned for a loud noise and crash as I try to save 20 seconds in 10 steps. I'm working harder, not smarter. I love it. And so let's get back to business with the training here. I've got a decent amount of progress to report. Bjornsson, his marking ability is now slightly improved due to his training program. Bill Jamal. That might be the next name I give when somebody asks me to name their child. His marking is at 10. This guy, you know, he might be able to contribute after all. He's kind of been a bench dude. Let's see what else. Well, this news doesn't really do much. The Icelandic national player Thorstensen of Grindavik said in a radio interview, "The club has a great dressing room atmosphere." In another National League player or national team player, Vilhelmsson of BC Astana told the press that he is ready to fight for his place in the team. A belligerent man. Well, not as exciting news as I thought. Two of them were news of the national team, and then one was fairly anticlimactic. I'm going to roll with it. I feel good with the way the training plans are set. Let's move to February 25th. It's still Friday, right? Is it? 4 more minutes. So happy Friday. I see a couple people actually tuning in. I feel incrementally less crazy for each person that's on here, because instead of me just talking and rambling, there's like an actual chance someone that's listen. Well, that seemed like it was too much responsibility for somebody. One of those streamers dropped. All right, no news to report. It appears for February 25th. Everybody is in good still. A little slow to get back up to game shape. So, we'll put on automatic. We'll put Thomas on. Thomason. I don't know. Sometimes I pronounce these names and I'm like, that's right. And then there's other times I say them and it's just as bad as like the first time. So let's proceed. February 26th. With those 3 starters that are just in good condition. Important that we try to get everybody in good shape. This game of Keflavik, this is a fairly important one. They're probably not going to be an easy one. As we wait for the load screen. And some training progress. Eliason shows a slight improvement in his ball handling. 13 now. Pretty respectable. So he's focusing on defending as well. Probably needs to look somewhere outside of ball handling. What else? Marking could get better. We're already using defending. Let's put him on attacking and move him to block or marking. Feels good. Feels good. Alright, so we still have two fellows They're at good. I'm gonna go one more day with Hermanson. I think he's okay. Augustin. Change him to aerobics for now. Everybody else is already imperfect. Ooh, Maravik. Needs to be doing something. We put him on defensive tactics. He's much closer to being a defensive star than an offense. Else, anything? He's already imperfect, so maybe try to push the issue a bit. So I'll just keep him in automatic. Let's roll. We'll see what the 27th of February brings. That beer, like I said, so far away. I keep talking about it. Sorry, I was distracted. I don't need a lot to get distracted. If you learned anything, or if you knew me before this. Sorry, I stream, and this old computer I have, I don't dare have the stream or Twitch open, and so I have to check it on the iPad every once in a while. Just making sure there weren't any messages or something. You know, people trying to be friendly and me being rude, not trying to ignore, but get distracted then as I try to do what I'm doing. Anywho, 27th of February. Some training development news. Ragnarsson shows a slight improvement in his power. This fella, he's 28, just recently turned. Maybe on the start of the decline. But his defense isn't bad. Speed's not bad. Passing's alright. He can serve a purpose. Shooting's not terrible. Rebounding ain't great. And so we still got two guys, Hermanson and Augustin, who are only at good. They need to give the computer control of their training plan, see if they can limp them along. Thomason is still just great. If he's not better by next day, then we'll put him on no training activities. As for now, let's see February 28th. That would have been a good time to get my beer. I didn't. Well, I suck. I failed. The music just kind of like slowed down, or not slowed down, but quieted down. It does this every time. I don't change the volume. Just from one song to the next, you can hear it versus you can't. Try to get a cool multimedia experience for it. Since I have started to put episodes onto YouTube, considering I thought I passed the threshold of reliable stream quality, and thought, alright, well, let's start saving these because I can see some of my first ones, which I'm happy to let drift off into forgotten land. But then some of these that don't really have any technical issues, or me spending large amounts of time just like fixated on my iPad, noticing that the stream is failing, and because it is failing, and then time that I'm spending talking and whatever, there's actually not any capture of the stream. I think I've got past that, and then I also started using restream.io, so it just effortlessly will put the rest of my episodes on there as well as Twitch at the same time. Like, why not? But that said, relating back to the music, it was really amazing how fast that the stream recording was exported with no, computer files or anything on my part. I just pushed a button to export, and then I got a thing that said this contains copyright, or there's a what did it say? I'm sorry. It said something about there was a person who was a complainant or claimant, and so the copyrighted material was the music. When I uploaded it to YouTube, instantly it let me know, it did like a Shazam or some sort that captured copyrighted music. And that's good. I'm making sure I don't break the law, or I guess they're making sure I don't break the law. But then some of these underappreciated artists that I listen to maybe get called out. Maybe they somehow get exposure. I don't know about that. I can't really offer them that. But they are connected then, and if there's any money or revenue, they have a claim to it. And I mean, that's super cool. The technology of it is impressive. I mean, I guess it's not super cool if you're a person who is trying to steal and use their stuff unlicensed. I'm just trying to listen to the music while I do this. I so easily get confused, distracted, bored. So I'm assuming that's probably why no one watches, because if I don't get bored as much, but I mean, it feels like when you're driving, like almost hypnotic. The nature of this and just like basically spreadsheets is kind of sleepy inducing. I don't know why I'm saying all that, but we are one day away from this pretty important game with Keflavik. We got most of the squad in great condition. We're going to get them hopefully imperfect. Let's take them off all activity. I can have a nice little wind down day before the game. Everybody can just kind of get their routine, get ready for the big game. Because they're all big games from here on out. Who else we need to adjust? These guys. I'm going to give the computer a chance and trust that this light activity will still allow them to be perfect by the next day. So let us proceed. Music's turned off. Still waiting on that beer. Man. I know there's a bunch of good albums that came out today as well. I saw some of the artists and then I can't find them. My memory can't find them either. Good old LCD sound system. Very reliable. Anytime you need some good music for a party, working out, driving, just go for it. This is their new live in studio album. So here's the Thor Thorlaxon. I still have no clue how that was really pronounced. If you saw the event image used for today, that's their legit team logo. And I've mentioned before, there's an editor. I think that works. I mean, I know there is an editor, but I want to get these images. I mean, I know they exist, just completeness, that kind of thing. But our team not generating a large crowd for this one, despite the magnitude of this. This is for 5th place in the league. Some prime playoff positioning as we come down the home stretch. So let's simulate it. And final results, we barely edged by 73-76. I don't think it should have been like that. But Keflavik is respectable. They had a better record than I did, or at least same record. And Ivarson, is that how you say that? Went off. I mean, Mike Cook went off as well. The guy that had been guarding him. 6 of 6 from the free throw line. His threes, though, he's still jacking them up. Not much success. It's that usual balanced scoring for our team. Thomason, though, he actually had a standout game. 7 of 13 from free throw. Keep him on that free throw. Just let whatever his other offense go. If he can get 8 or 9 points from free throw line each game, make a 3-pointer, well, there's double-digit scoring. And then he goes 4 of 8, 4 of 9. That's 18 points. There you go. But we got the win. Let's just check out Ivarson. Ivarson. Icelandic by origin. Wait now. This is a kind of a personal moment. My family, who we can document back to like 1000 or 1100 UK, who more than likely, because of where the family lived later, had connections to the Isles. And I have always felt somehow like my family is Denmark area, Iceland maybe, Faroe Islands. And our family has a traditional middle name of Iverson. Now, is that Iverson? So is this guy related to me? I probably not, no, but it suggests that that name is probably an Americanized version of this. Whatever. Drink enough beer and everything connects. We're all interwoven. Stupid ways, and then some profound ways, and sometimes in no ways other than those that you fabricate. But he blew up. He had an amazing game. He does feel held back by the rest of his team. He's fairly affordable and a young guy. Since I know that he might be family, he's the kind of guy that numbers are fairly average. He gets paid nothing, but when he's putting up points like that, showing big game readiness, maybe I should put him on the short list. What do you think? I didn't say like the attendance was such. I usually did that. There it is. He's still there for 3 seasons, so I don't know if it's even worth doing that. But this appears to be another stream that hasn't been disrupted or messed up by this archaic IT, information technology equipment I'm using. Or computers, I guess, normal people, the cool kids, what they're calling it. But let's go ahead and look at the standings and wrap this episode up. Pardon for the super loud mouth. Whenever I listen to some of these, I go back through to see what kind of audio quality, you know, there's been some issues, so I was trying to figure them all out. But the sound of the mouse, like I have the desktop audio sounds off, and you just are actually hearing the mechanical pieces of it. When I click it, it's so crunchy, man. But then the scroll wheel, it's like waking up dads all across the county. I can hear that. I mean, it's very loud. It's not, you don't have to have some kind of PTSD paranoia ears. Standings. So let's put this one to bed. There we are, sitting at 5th. One game above 500. Grindavik, one game above us. Either way we play them as the standings are, I don't see them catching St. Jarnan. I don't see us jumping them and catching them. So it's kind of like us jockeying for it, and maybe Njarðvík or Keflavik comes up with some real life background. Njarðvík is one of the most successful teams in this league's history. They've won the title more than anyone but KR, I believe. So, if you weren't aware, there's some nostalgia for you. They've got pride. And my team here, my whole end game is just trying to get away from KR to the finals. If we can make it to the playoffs without playing them to the finals, then my team might get to the finals. If we play them before then, that's probably where it ends, and maybe get me on the hot seat based on the fact that, you know, my team has been, pardon me for going scatterbrain, my team has been commissioned, or I have been commissioned, to get us to the regular season, semifinals, and the playoffs. Oh, wait, no, I don't know why it says regular season. It's my target. Target's the semifinals. I think you knew that. So I'm going to peace out on this one, and we'll come back real shortly. And if you missed anything, this should be available as always as a Twitch archive, but then in theory on YouTube for perpetuity. Let's see. We will see. But until next time, that's us. Thor Thurl getting a win here against Keflavik to move one game up in the standings, ranked number 5th so far in the league, with a few more weeks left, coming down to the final 5 games for the playoffs kickoff. So until then, thanks so much.